This is the daily Forex report for June 17th. We are looking at the US Japanese yen pair first. This particular pair closed down today. It did move much lower and then pull back to above previous support. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias that is sideways as well. Look for it to potentially go as high as 91.92, possibly as low as 89.97. Look for some resistance around 91.70 and look for some support around 90.50. Now, looking at the Euro USD, this particular pair did move higher, closed higher. We are looking for this pair to continue to move sideways overall long term. Definitely has a bias slightly to the upside currently. Look for it to potentially go as high as 124.78, possibly as low as 121.50. Look for some resistance around 124.50 and look for some support around 122.50. Now, looking at the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair closed higher today. It did move much lower but pulled back, closed higher. It's moving sideways with a slight bias to the upside. Look for it to potentially go as high as 149.13, possibly as low as 145.37. Look for some resistance around 148.50 and look for some support around 146.43. Now, the US Swiss, this particular pair dove down today, moving much lower, bias to the downside. We are looking for it to potentially go to 113.98 if we get a reversal, possibly going down to 110.40 to the downside. Look for some resistance around 112.50 and look for some support around 110.75. Now, as far as news announcements go, we really don't have any significant news announcements for tomorrow. As far as what I'm looking for, look for the, we have the pound US dollar pair create a swing trade setup. Definitely look for a potential breakout. The only issue with this is it had to dive down a significant amount before actually breaking through. If it does, look for it to come on down to this area around the 145.25 point. I don't see it really hitting, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on. Now, something else that I'm looking at, and I normally don't go beyond the major four, or at least outside the U.S. pairs, but the Euro Swiss has been moving sideways to a large degree, especially on the hour time frame. So if you switch to the hour time frame, you can see that it's been moving sideways. If you zoom out a decent amount, when it starts to get consolidated here, I'm looking basically to buy about 10 pips above here at the 138.17 mark and looking to exit that trade at this low here, looking for that 35 pips. Now, we do have a low here, but this low is at 137.39. We have another low historically at 137.33. So I'm looking to short at 137.23 and looking for a 75 pip move to the downside. If we get a large jump like we did during today's session to the downside, we'll get that 75 pips. I am using a 75 pip stop loss on this one and basically puts it right here. Well, that about wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.